Hey, what's going on, crew? It's your boy Serrano. Welcome back to the channel. I just made this beat right now, so tell me if it sounds pretty cool or not down below. And if you want to get a beat like this, I made this literally in like 10 minutes. But let's talk about the A30 versus the Coolpad Legacy. Now, both of these phones I've been rocking for quite some time, a couple of months each, and they're both really solid devices. The A30 has a 6.4-inch display, 1080 by 2340 pixels, and 16 megapixel on the rear with 4 gigabytes of RAM. It also does have another camera on the back of there, which is a 5 megapixel. Now the Coolpad Legacy is 1080 by 2160 at 6.36 inches with 282 pixels per inch with Corning Gorilla Glass 3. Now that Coolpad Legacy has 3 gigabytes of RAM and 32 gigabytes of internal storage. Now you can see the fingerprint is a little faster on the Samsung Galaxy A30, and it's actually a more expensive device, and it has 4 gigabytes versus the 3 gigabytes on the Coolpad Legacy. So let's go ahead and we're gonna, take a look at some of the speed that we're getting on a few apps. But these phones definitely were impressive. Now I want to talk about the build quality of the Coolpad Legacy. That thing was really solid. It just had a really nice weight in your hand. It felt really substantial. The fingerprint sensor was really easy to get to. It wasn't the fastest one in the world. It had a nice build quality. I definitely like the back of it with that kind of like reflecting back, where it almost looks like there's a sticker on there, but it's actually just a really wave like design. When the light hits it, it's like that silver color, so it's definitely like really premium looking. Now those cameras shoot really nice, and both of these phones do have Type-C charging, fast charging, so they both charge really quick in my personal use. And so with the Samsung A30, we are rocking Android 9.0, and same thing with the Coolpad Legacy. So we also do have on the A30 octa-core processor CPUs. So we do have two 1.8 gigahertz Cortex A73 paired with six 1.6 gigahertz Cortex A53. The GPU is a Mali G71MP2. Now let's take a look at the processor on the Coolpad Legacy. Now we do have an octa-core clocked in at 1.8, a 450 Snapdragon, which is actually a CPU of ARM Cortex A53 with 4 cores of PowerVR GE8100, 570 megahertz. So it's actually pretty decent as well, and it has 3 gigabytes of RAM paired along with it, and 32 gigabytes of internal storage. Now both of these devices do support the micro SD slot for expandable storage. Now we are getting Samsung has their own UI with the One UI, and the Coolpad has their Cool UI 9.0. So the Coolpad Legacy does have a rear camera system, which is actually pretty decent, and it's not like the best in the world, but it's definitely going to keep up with your daily use. When you're even if you post these on social media, it's definitely going to be pretty impressive. Now the cool thing is both of these phones do have 4,000 milliamp hour battery Li polymers, which is definitely pretty sick. And one thing to note is that you're getting an AMOLED display on the Samsung Galaxy A30. So it's a super AMOLED display, and it definitely has some really punchy colors. The screen gets really bright, and this thing does have 403 pixels per inch. So it's definitely pretty impressive to the naked eye. And when you're actually holding it and when you're actually using it, you wouldn't think that this thing would, be like, like a budget device just when you're holding it and everything like that. But both devices did record in 1080p 30 frames per second, and they both support fast charging, 2.0 Type-C with the 1.0 reversible connector. So that's definitely pretty cool. let's just check out, like, like most of the time, these phones were pretty, they were keeping up to each other. But let's just take a look at some apps right here, and let's check out the lift. Let's see which one opens up quicker. So okay, we got some movement on the left, the A30. So the A30 won that one. And maybe I haven't opened that app up in quite some time on the Legacy, but as you can see, it did open second. But overall on the Legacy, you were getting a really nice design. I give it about 8.3 out of 10. Like, it was a really nice design. Like, there wasn't much I could complain about. It did have a little bit of bezel on the top and bottom, but I kind of like that look. Well, tell me what kind of screen you prefer. Now on the left, you did get the the U Definity display, which is what they call it for the Samsung devices. Now, that screen on the Samsung, you got pretty much a whole screen to yourself. Like, this thing is pretty much like has a 84.9% screen to body ratio, which is like pretty much 85%, which is definitely pretty cool, because when you're looking at this thing, it feels like you're just looking, it's meant to have like that really bezel-less look, and they actually achieved it. Now with the Coolpad, you're not going to get the bezel-less like look or anything like that, but the screen is huge, and the 282 pixels per inch were pretty good. It has Gorilla Glass 3 protecting it on the Coolpad Legacy. And then the really sick thing about the Samsung Galaxy A30 is that it has an ultra wide 5 megapixel, which actually makes taking photos on here just a joy, because you could actually get a whole bunch of shots that you wouldn't actually be able to get, like, if you didn't have that lens. So I definitely thought that was cool. It had a 15-watt charger, a fast charger, which is definitely pretty sick. The fingerprint sensor was a little bit faster on the A30 compared to the Coolpad Legacy, but I actually really enjoyed the Legacy so far. It had a headphone. Both phones had a headphone jack. Both had non-removable 4,000 milliamp hour batteries. You know what I mean? Like, they both had really nice speeds overall. So I wasn't complaining about like daily lag or anything like that with each device. I was using both of them, and the battery life on both is actually really good as well. Now, I have like a 8-hour work shift like every day. So when I go to work, I leave my house and then I go on the train, and right away I start listening to music, watching YouTube and everything like that. And then when you go underground, it definitely like drains your battery, like when it's trying to like get signal from underground. So like, that definitely takes an effect. And like when I went throughout the whole day with these things, it was no problem whatsoever. Like, I didn't have to charge them or anything like that. It wasn't like I didn't even think about a charger, or when it came to these phones. Mostly I was just charging my Bluetooth headsets that I use, even though it has headphone jacks. Like, I just got accustomed to using Bluetooth devices, because like the wire free is where it's at. Like, that wire, sometimes you just don't want to have that thing, like especially in New York City. Like, there's been some times where like people have actually ripped my earphones out of my ear. Like, it gets caught on someone's purse, and then they like walk, and then like your earphones get yanked out of your ear. Like, that's the worst experience. But so I definitely use Bluetooth a ton, but you can see the A30 took it right here. It kind of opened up quicker. So that went to the A30. But overall, these devices are pretty cool. Now, the cool thing about the Coolpad Legacy is that it's in Metro by T-Mobile, and if you do like a port over or something like that, you can definitely get like a sick deal. Actually didn't look up how much the price was for the Coolpad Legacy right now, but when I actually got the Coolpad Legacy, I paid $100 when I added a line. So I'm pretty sure you could definitely get a better deal at this point, because that was like when it first came. Well, I didn't get it right when it launched, but I got it like a month later. So it was definitely like pretty sick. You could Pluto TV. So you can see the Coolpad Legacy launched the second. But the Pluto TV is definitely pretty dope. So yeah, you could watch a ton of like different like shows and everything like that. But let's see which ones open up quicker, like with the RAM and everything like that. Wait, did I even click this one? Oh, okay, so I guess that one actually won. That was definitely pretty cool. So let's just do that one more time. We're gonna try. Okay, that was actually like a tie. That was a dead tie. Opening up apps, going. Okay, that was like pretty close too. Tell me what you guys think. I think I went to the A30. The blacks on the Coolpad Legacy look really dark. Like, tell me what you guys think. But thank you guys for watching. And the reds look pretty deep too. Appreciate every last one of you. Make sure you guys stay locked in, and make sure you stay tuned, stay locked in, and peace. Later, crew. But definitely appreciate every last one of you. You guys are the real MVPs. I'll check you guys out on the next video, but make sure you subscribe and get notified, and click the bell as well, and check out more videos just like this. And I definitely appreciate when you hit that like button. Definitely hit that. Later.